welcome back to the channel and to a preview of some of the handicaps at the Cheltenham Festival, where I talk through a few of the horses which have caught my eye after the handicap marks have came out, and I'm just refreshing Twitter every 30 seconds now trying to see which horse I'll be going where. I can't wait for the 48-hour declarations. We're getting a few of the 5-day ones through, which some have been interesting, and I'll make a point about that later on, but we're going to start off with the Boodles, and Gaelic Warrior is 9-4 for that. Now this horse does have a huge reputation. I'll just repeat what other people have said, that the horse, if he was going to run in Ireland, he'd be rated near the 140s. The English handicapper was giving him a mark of 129, which could be, this horse could be absolutely chucked in. He is short enough in a very competitive race where every horse will almost be ahead of the handicapper, but if the words, the rumours are true coming out of the Willie Mullins camp are true, then this horse should be just winning this race easily enough in the end. Although there's been plenty of horses which do seem to have the profile where they're very well handicapped and fail to win, because this is a race where you need to have almost a stone in hand to win it. It seems like so many horses are ahead of the handicapper and they can finish midfield because all these young horses are open to so much improvement. So it's definitely going to have to be well ahead of the handicapper to win, and at 9-4 he is short enough, but trained by Willie Mullins he can bring on a lot of improvement, and this horse, as I said, could be chucked in. The French form, I don't know too much about it to myself, but looking at his last start, he finished third that day. The first, the second and the fourth have all won since, and the fourth went on a winning streak, I should say, and ended up winning a Grade 1 by 9 lengths just a few starts later. So he managed to beat that horse that day, and if he can show the same improvement as the fourth did that way, then off a mark of 129, I think he'll be one coming there on the bridle, and I think the English handicapper will have a few sleepless nights over this horse in the build-up to the festival, because he'll be left with egg on his face if this horse goes and wins by 15 lengths. This horse was entered in England in January time to get the mark. They saw it was 129, and it's just as if they've saw that and just backed off the horse, train him to get to the Boodles 100%, and I think if the words are right, if the rumours are true, he'll take the world of beating. And I should just mention, these horses that I'm going through won't be tips. My tips will be posted on my Twitter the day before each of the races, and I've already got some anti-post horses on, so if you want to go back to some earlier videos, I've put up plenty of horses. My best would be Vauban at 16-1. It's going to be a long wait till Friday to see if he can deliver, but I'm hoping it could be a big afternoon for Willie Mullins with Album Photo and Vauban both put up at 20-1 and 16-1, so that could be a very nice Friday afternoon for me indeed. But we'll get on to another Willie Mullins trained horse, and it's State Man, who got a mark of 141, runs in the colours of the Donnellys and trained by Willie Mullins, as I said. Now this horse has just had the 2 starts in Ireland. He fell on his Irish debut when going well, and there was a few horses in behind which looked to be solid enough, and he was travelling easily enough, although it was probably too far out to see if he was going to win. There was a few others travelling nicely enough in behind as well, but no one was going better than him. And then the next start he was sent off odds of 1-7, expected to win, and he won by an unextended 12 lengths early, got a mark of 141, and who knows how good this horse could be. He's got a huge ceiling. The potential is unlimited with this horse, and he's also got entries in some of the Grade 1s, so you'd think that this horse, they think, Willie Mullins, that this horse can be a graded horse in time, and he's also had entries in the Supreme and maybe the Ballymore, I can't remember now, so I think he could be a graded horse. And if he does go in a handicap, I'm not too sure where he'll turn up. For me, 2 miles might be his trip right now, but he could just have that much in hand where he could get the 2.5 miles and still win, even though if it isn't his perfect trip. I think 2 miles might suit for the minute, but the Martin Pipe might be the race that's easier to win compared to some of the other 2 milers. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on, whichever race he ends up in. If it is a handicap, I think he'll be sent off near enough favourite. He's already heading some of the anti-post markets now. And then another horse trained in Ireland that I did tip up just a couple of weeks ago was Smoking Gun. He was 16-1 when I tipped him up, and he was 16-1 for quite a while until the weights came out. He got a very nice handicap mark and is suddenly into 13-2, and Jamie Codd will be taking the ride in the Kim Muir as well. That is what jockey booking, which does make a lot of appeal. He's won this race so many times. He's a very good amateur jockey at Cheltenham, and I think he's one to keep on your side. And with Jamie Codd in the saddle, this horse was an eye catcher last time when third. He took the scenic route, kept wide all the time, and I don't think Connections really wanted it to win, wanted to protect the handicap mark. Well, they've definitely done that. I think this might be Gordon Elliott's best chance of a winner in a handicap, and I think at 13-2 he might just, well, I think he will run into the frame. Whether he's well handicapped enough to win it, that's another question, but my 16-1 is looking very nice at the minute, and I think he does have his chance, although it is going to be a very competitive race as well. And finally, to finish off the video, I thought I'd have to give out an English horse, as I've just been mentioning all the Irish ones, and it's Time White, trained by Paul Nicholls, who isn't really running many horses at all at the Cheltenham Festival this time on. But Time White, I think, could just be one that is a little bit ahead of the handicapper. He was very good at Doncaster last time. I was there to see him in person, had a bet on him that day at 2-1, and I knew he was winning from about half a mile out. He was jumping so well, and I think the key to this horse is Bryony Frost. If she keeps the ride, then I'd give this horse absolutely every chance. He jumps so well, even though he did unseat on his second last start. I think with Bryony Frost in the saddle, no one can get a horse jumping better than her. So I think it's one where she's just going to track the leaders, get jumping nicely. I think it's got a good engine. The big field handicap, it might suit. This horse has ran midfield in Cheltenham races before over hurdles. I think he's one that has improved for a fence, and I think he's lightly raced. He's a novice, heads into this race up about £8 after his last start, running in the mid 140s after winning by 5 lengths off a mark of 134. This horse could just be one to keep an eye on, and Paul Nicholls, who definitely won't have many winners at the festival after Boy of Man's Game, I think this could just be his best chance in a very competitive helter-skelter 2-mile handicap chase. I think this would suit this horse down to the ground, and is maybe one to follow. Again, it wouldn't be my final selection for the race yet. It's one that I'll just wait and see who's entered on the day, what the race looks like. But Time White at the minute is one that definitely does catch the eye. So that rounds up the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the big push towards 150, and let me know in the comments down below, is Gaelic Warrior as good as everyone thinks, and will he win the Boodles at 9-4? For me, I'll be sitting on the fence until a day, but I tell you what, if Willie Mullins does win a first few races on the day, then this horse might be close to even money for the Supreme, which is for the Boodles, I should say, which I definitely won't be backing at that price, but I think he might be in a lot of people's handicaps. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.